Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, I'm Tabitha. I own Luxury Picnics Acadia in Bar Harbor, Maine, and I'm in my bedroom today. The lighting in here is kind of crazy. My hair is kind of crazy. I have about 10 minutes of alone time while my husband takes my son with him to the store. So I'm going to try to get this video in and get it up because I know I promised, I don't know, 4 days ago that I would get a video up, but I'm unreliable apparently. So today we're just gonna do a quick video. I had some questions from people about basic startup costs, what kind of questions to ask, and I wrote them all down. Hopefully I can get some of them addressed in my short amount of time. So one of the biggest and most important questions I got were, what are the steps of starting? What are the questions you ask clients? What are the costs, like I said? So when it comes to startup costs, I'm not going to lie to you. It's not super duper cheap. It's not super duper expensive either. And I guess what I mean is, like, for me, I didn't have like any extra help or anything like that. So I saved a little bit of money from each of my paychecks because I work full time. I still work full time. Um, and I was able to kind of just buy inventory little by little and slowly build up what I needed to do one setup and then what I needed to do two setups, and things like that. I won't lie though, like I said, it isn't cheap. So when it comes to like percentage wise out of what you're going to spend in your first year, easily you're going to spend 80% of your money going to and I mean, when I say 80%, I mean the money that you're getting back from clients from booking picnics. You're going to be spending probably 80% of that money on buying inventory and all of that sort of stuff to continue to grow your business before you're really going to see that profit. And for me, it took and has been taking, it took me about 4 months to make back what I spent. But I would say that generally it takes about a year or so, depending on how popular you are, to make your money back and actually like really see some profit. And sometimes that can be disheartening because, of course, you want to see profit like right now. You want to, of course, who doesn't? But in reality, it does take a lot of work and it does take a lot of patience to really see that money come back to you. What other questions? What will you profit? How much goes in? Okay. So steps before, during, and after, like, what do you say to a client? So if a client comes to you, depending on how you book, whether that's, through your website, through Facebook, Instagram, however, um, if they're reaching out to you, because I don't personally like to go out and like attack people and be like, hey, book a picnic with me. I mean, of course, when I'm on a vendor fair and stuff like that, I want people to feel comfortable approaching me, but I'm not going to go and try to attack people for dates. So when people come to me, book a picnic through my website, and I get a message, usually mine comes to my email and will say, you have an inquiry. Usually in the subject, they'll put what the date is, an anniversary, a proposal, things like that. And with a proposal, you're going to know right off that it's a surprise. So that takes away the what question do you ask when they arrive, because you're not going to be there unless they're asking you to take a picture for them. Your ass better not be at their proposal. You can gawk from your car, but unless they invite you to be there at the beginning, I wouldn't. So yeah, find out if it's a surprise, if it is a surprise, if it's just a regular date. His wife found you on Facebook and they loved your company and they want to have a date. So you would say, like, okay, how many people is it? What kind of foods are you looking for? And make sure if you don't offer food that you say that right out front. I personally don't offer food, but I outsource through local vendors, yada, yada, yada. And then tell them if they don't prefer to have a vendor, they can bring their own food, or you could even pack them a basket of unopened foods, because we got to remember from my previous video when we talked a little bit about cottage food laws. Wow, I can't talk today. In your state, and make sure that you are law abiding, because you don't want to get sued. But anyway, like I said, unopened things such as maybe, wheat thins, maybe a box of cookies, things that aren't open, and you stick it in a basket and they can open it themselves. Do you offer alcohol? Do you need a license to offer alcohol? I don't offer alcohol because, again, you need a license for that. I don't have that. So I offer sparkling ciders and sparkling waters and regular water. Back to the questions. So again, if you have certain themes, if you only have one theme, then you can give them that suggestion. If you have 4 or 5 themes, I personally like to attach each picture of each theme to the email and just give them a small blurb of what it is, what it pertains, each one of my packages, and what my add-ons are. So my packages, I have a base price of, for 2 people, for the basic. And my basic includes a table, ground cover, place settings, decor, things like that. And that's $200 for 2 people for 2 hours. And then I do have add-ons, like I have a Bluetooth speaker you can add on for $10. You can add the teepee for $30. Honestly, I'm just kind of throwing out numbers because I don't really honestly remember what my numbers on my website are. But I'm just saying, for example. And then there is a slightly bigger package for 2 people for $300. Oh, I should mention, it is like $30 for every person after that. For 2 people for $300, you get the lace teepee, everything I said in the previous, a candy charcuterie board, unopened. We don't want to make like I said, make people sick. Sparkling cider, and the Bluetooth speaker, and games. And these things all come with that package. And then I have a proposal package, which is $400. I'm just kind of going up a little bit. It really depends on your area. It really depends on the market. It really depends on the other companies around you. You don't want to set your prices too low and really shoot yourself in the foot, because I've learned the hard way in those situations that you need to remember your worth, and that this is your company. And I'm not saying go and charge hundreds and thousands of dollars, but make sure that you are considering your worth when you are coming up with your numbers, and thinking about the hours, and thinking about how much your bills cost, those kinds of things, and then figuring out what you want to charge for your packages. And it is up to you, because it is your business. Don't you dare let anybody else tell you how to run your business, because you're the boss. And that's it. You're the boss. All right. So anyway, getting back to the questions. So if it isn't a surprise and they're showing up and you're just kind of waiting there, I send them a reminder email, usually probably an hour or so. Back. I send them a reminder email the day before as well. And I say, hey, I'm going to be setting up at this time. I'll be there an hour prior. Shoot me a text, and I will shoot you a text as well tomorrow morning, and we can talk then. And then again, just keeping in touch with them is the most important thing, especially, so that I tell them, please do not show up early, because if there's unexpected things that happen within my hour of setting up, I don't need people standing there and staring over me. So please don't show up early. I know, though, sometimes it is considered, polite to show up a few minutes early, but I think in this situation, I want those extra 15 minutes to make sure that I'm going to make it perfect for you. So when they arrive, I usually just say, hi, insert name. Hi, Paul and Heather. How are you today? Okay, maybe not like that awkward. I'll be like, hey, I have your picnic set up down here, and if you need me, I'm only a call away. And then I disappear for 2 hours, and I go do grocery shopping, or I go home, or usually I have my toddler, so we sometimes go to the park. It really honestly depends on the weather and the location of the picnic, because my business is based about an hour away from where I actually live, because that's where my market is. And I'm willing to drive because I know that that's the sacrifice that I have to make in order to actually have money. But I also had to up my prices because of that. And another thing, you got to remember, if you're driving, some of that money is going to go to gas. So I'm hoping that this next couple of years, I'm going to continue obviously learning. I learn every single day, but I just mean, I hope I continue making smart financial decisions and knowing my worth and remembering that I need to also put money away for taxes. I've been really good at that. Thank you, Dad, for, you know, making me financially stable, smart, maybe making me financially smart. Yeah, this video is kind of a hot mess today, but yeah. What else do we have here? I know that you guys said you don't really care about editing. You just want to know the actual details of things. So I'm so sorry that I'm not, somebody who knows how to edit or do anything like that. Let's see. Food vendors. What kinds? How do you ask? What do you do? Hot and cold foods. So, food vendors. Yes, like I said, I outsource my food. So I made a list when I first started of different kinds of foods I wanted to offer. And you have to remember, if you're going to be offering hot food, you have to have a way to transport it to keep your food hot so that you don't, let the food get cold and then your clients end up giving a bad review to you or the restaurant, because that can look bad on you. So if that's something you want to do, totally invest in a insulated carrier. My husband bought me this gigantic, I don't have it on me or else I'd show it to you. It's literally a gigantic insulated, it's the size of a mini fridge. And I wish I was joking. It's so big, and it unzips and it has 2 layers and it has a spot for drinks and stuff. And I found that it can hold about 4 to-go containers of food and 4 drinks. And it comes with it has backpack straps on it so you can lug it around. You're gonna have to be careful with how you're gonna have to keep your body pretty stiff though when you stand up, and so you don't spill things. But anyway, that helped a lot, and I found that I got a lot of good feedback from clients that it did keep their food warm. So I know I had raved to some friends. I found on Amazon this lunchbox that plugs into your USB port, and I was like, oh my gosh, totally get this thing. It's going to keep your lunch and your client's food hot. Well, it's tiny. It came in and it was tiny, made for 1 leftovers for lunch. So I just gave it to my husband and I just put his lunch in there, and it works well for him. But yeah, I don't know that I would want to be picking people's food up from the restaurant and then dumping it into this thing, and then no. So anyway, I made a list of the types of food vendors that I wanted to talk to, and I decided for me, I wanted to do lobster rolls because I live in Maine, and lemonades and fish and chips and things like that I could really have easy access to. And also, we have a really delicious cheesecake bakery here, and it is super popular. So I also have them, because who doesn't like to have dessert kind of things? But you don't have to stick to those vendors. The list I accumulated was just a list of basic suggestions. I suggest these first as they're my favorite. I know that they have great service. And then I went to the restaurants and I talked to the owners. First, I wrote a letter, and in my last video on how to start a luxury picnic company, I put the letter in the description. So if you go there, you can find it. And I found that writing the letter was a great first step, but following up and talking to them in person is much more personal. It's much more intimate, and you're really able to talk to them and share your ideas and share your passion. And grow that relationship so that when you are ordering for the first time, they're like, oh, great, I have somebody who's helping me get clients as well. And you have that relationship. You can call them if something is wrong. It's just, for me, it's worked out really well. And in my town, it's really, really small and really personal anyway. Um, so word of your name gets around quickly, and that's a plus. I will say that here it's really about who you know, and I'm thankful for that in a small town. Um, so anyway, that template that I have there in the description box is really like the perfect way to write that letter and just give you like the words to say. Um, and yeah, I think that's pretty much it for food vendors. And I mean, you don't have to, if you want to like, if you just want to order, just suggest restaurants, like if you have super social anxiety. I mean, I'm not saying that this is an escape, but it could be, I guess. Like, you don't actually have to, like, you could just order from restaurants realistically without having to like partner with them. You don't have to do that. But it's all about what you want to do for your business. Okay, let's see. What else do I have on my list? Setting my table. We did that last time. Storage. Oh gosh. Storage. Yeah. All right, let's talk about storage a little bit. When I first started, I put my themes into totes. And if you go back several months ago, I had a very frantic, awful video similar to this, but it was like 3 minutes. And I just kind of I just threw different things into the boxes that they were separated into. So I had like a farmhouse theme, a boho theme, and a pink theme. And I just went to Hobby Lobby and I gathered all my Amazon stuff and I like put them into the box that they went into. And that helped my brain sort of organize it. And then I put a label on the top that said farmhouse, boho pink. And then as my supply grew, I started to run out of space in my house. I think my husband can attest to that. He wasn't super happy about it, but it is what it is. So we recently bought property and it had a storage unit on it. So I was lucky to be able to put my stuff there. And then I purchased these heavy duty shelves on Amazon that kept my stuff up off of the ground because I don't want anything having mice in it. All of my stuff, like I said, is in totes. From blankets to plates, everything is in totes because I will not risk it. I'm sorry. That's gross. So yeah, that's what I do for storage. Some people rent a storage unit. Personally, when I was starting out, I didn't have that much money, so it wasn't like I could really afford that. But that has worked well for me, though I think storage units are an awesome way to go. And if you have the space in your house to keep it in your spare bedroom, I mean, like, do you? I just don't. I just truly don't. But I think that's where we're going to cut it off for today, mostly because I'm positive my husband's going to be pulling in any minute and I really want to take a shower. So love you all. I'll be back again. And I'm sorry for this, hot mess of a video, but I hope it answered some of your questions, and I'll write down more of the questions you guys have and hopefully make you another awful frantic video soon. Okay. See you in the next one. Bye.